What's going on, everybody? It's the Bearded One back with another beer review. It's just Belgium today. This will actually come out 2 to 4 days, uh, depending on the day I release my Chimay Red or Chimay Premiere video. But in real time, I've done both these beers on the same day, and I'm excited to do another Chimay beer. This will be my fourth and final Chimay beer in my pack. I believe this is the entire production line. However, I haven't used the app yet, but I see on this app I've downloaded, Craft Beer Kings, that Chimay has a barrel reserve of the Grand Reserve. So if I ever have the free cash, the cash freed up for that and the outrageous shipping, there might be one more Chimay review in the future of the channel. Overall, I'm impressed with Chimay. I think this has been a wonderful experience. I'm really glad that I got to experience an authentic Trappist brewery. Let me do that thing they do in Germany where they wake up the yeast at the bottom. You know, if they do it, I want to do it. So this one is Cinq Cents, as I heard it called from someone trying to do a proper French pronunciation. In my Alabama dialect, I would call it Cinq Cents. Yeah, it doesn't say too much. There was something in my pamphlet about this beer. Oh, I should have read it. I do know this is one. I believe this is the one that's supposed to have a little more hop presence to it. And then there's spices brewed in it as well. But it's a Belgian beer. There's going to be spices in it. And then hop presence, compared to what I'm used to here in America, is relative. So we'll see how my palate handles the hop presence. If I am correct on this one, being the spicier one. It's also 8% by volume, so I carefully chose this as the one I was gonna drink to finish the night out. It's got a wonderful color. It reminds me of like an unfiltered apple cider. It's real murky. It's not hazy. It's murky for sure. Almost looks like dirty water, and I hate saying that. It's a lot more orange and yellow, goldish orange on camera. It's a little more pale in person. It's just like a really light brown, pale yellow. It's kind of a unique color. I don't think I've ever seen anything like it before. The head retention wasn't really there. I didn't froth up as much. I didn't pour it aggressively though. Head dissipation, you know, I dissipated, of course. It's a real thin layer of head, really just a border around the glass with some random bubbles floating around. There is carbonation going on, so there's some action brewing in this beer. I do see bubbles rising up in this beer. How's the nose? Well, I'll tell you. I'm getting a little bit of the alcohol in here. That kind of hit me. It's fruity, but it's like a light fruit. It's not dark. It definitely has that traditional Belgian bready, like a banana bread almost, yeasty aroma to it that I just love. That just staple smell of Belgian beers. Light fruit, yeah. I don't get any hop aroma going on in this thing. Got some alcohol legs on it, I can see. Leaves it on the glass. It's 8%. Yeah, so I'm getting a light, delicate fruit. Really hard to decipher. Just kind of like I don't even know what kind of fruits to. It's just like a general fruitiness, maybe some apple, some pear. You know, really delicate, not really strong and pungent fruit flavor. With that typical Belgian readiness, yeastiness thing. And then it smells kind of boozy for 8%. It smells, I don't want to say strong, but I can pick up the alcohol in here for sure. Yeah, this one, I was correct. This one was the hoppy of the four beers. The hoppy, the one with the hop presence of the four beers. It's definitely got that. I mean, compared to American beer, this is not a hop forward beer. So if you're like even a pale ale drinker, an American pale ale drinker, you wouldn't think this is a hoppy beer. But it's very well balanced at the same time. I think that's what I appreciate this beer. Man, there's hops in here for a Belgian. It's earthy. You know, kind of grassy, earthy thing. I get more of the earthy, grassy stuff when I'm drinking stuff with the nobles in them. It's kind of a spicy, kind of a hop spiciness as well. I'm not picking up on any like spiciness outside of the hops though. Just I'm trying to run through everything in my head. So yeah, just a general fruitiness, maybe in the apple pear direction. It's kind of hard for me to articulate that and really hone in on it because it is kind of a delicate fruitiness, but it plays well with that Belgian yeast banana bread thingy. It's not strong banana. This isn't a Hefeweizen, but you know, just that that standard Belgian yeasty bread character that sometimes can come off as banana. And then that plays really nice with like a solid hop presentation. I was leaning towards like earthy and grassy, but I feel like I'm getting more of a spiciness. Yeah, I would say this isn't grassy. These hops are spicy. And for people who aren't necessarily familiar with hot spice in that term, I'm not talking about pepper spiciness or like hot sauce spicy. It would be more like an herbal spiciness to the beer. Overall, well balanced beer. They did a really good job with this beer. I'm impressed. I think this is my second favorite of the Chimay offerings. I would give this a 4.5 out of 5. Just a solid A beer. Leaning towards world class, but I would have liked the fruitiness to be there a little more, I think. And then I'm just not really a hop forward guy, so if hops are really presented, that kind of takes things out of world class for me. But still, an A beer, and I made it to the fullest, 4.5 out of 5. Cinq Cents, supposed, and for a Belgian or a German beer, this is pretty hoppy. I'd recommend it to any fan of Belgian beers. I don't think I have any more to say about that. I'm going to finish this beer off camera. And I hope you guys are having a good night. Until next time, guys. Cheers.